Hi, beautiful people. We are here for all new edition of Talk to Me Toy with my guy, Joe IU.
Hello.
Hi, Joe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I know we talked about this a couple of times, doing something over the last couple of years.
Yes.
So, I'm really glad that we're doing this.
We're doing it.
This is awesome.
Yep. So Joe, for guys, I'm sure y'all don't know, but Joe is one of my coworkers. And over the years, he's actually more than a coworker, more of a friend. How we started, he does imaging, like production.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Imaging is basically what you hear in between the songs that identifies the radio station. So that's the type of stuff that I produce.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing it, 22 years now, almost coming up on 23 years now here in Philly.
Wow.
So, but also doing it for other stations around the country with iHeart and everything. So in a nutshell, that's what I do.
I love it. And
on a professional level.
Come on, and he's one of the best that has ever done it.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
And thank you for your coaching. How me and Joe started becoming close when I would come in and I'd record commercials. And you know, with most people, the conversations ventures off. You having a tough day, friend? And before you knew it, as time went on, we became like the best of friends.
Yeah, really, absolutely, absolutely. And you've been a huge supporter of mine from a photography standpoint. So. That means a lot. So I do appreciate that. Thank you.
I love you, friend. You're the bestest. Anyway. All right. So let's get into it. Today's episode is pretty much going to be about blockages. Okay. So Joe and I, we've all, we have the powwows often about, following what it is you're supposed to do. So how the beautiful relationship started was Joe, not all of a sudden, you always had a thing for photography.
Right.
And then one day you just decided, you know what, let me really put something into this. So tell about your journey on that.
Well, one of the few things that was a positive that came from the pandemic was, I'm only working 2 hours a day now, and I the rest of the day to myself. So I went out and I just started walking around with my cell phone and just started taking some photos and kind of liked what I was doing and got a bit of a reaction. Next thing you know, I've got a camera and lens, a professional camera and lens, and I'm out just taking photos and enjoying it. And that's kind of so I've been about 3 years roughly, like with an actual professional camera and an actual lens, and really kind of working on that. That's where I'm at.
And friends, he's being very modest because these are not just regular photos. I mean, I can take a picture, I can take a photo, but Joe's, when you see his work, it just, like, some people just have that eye, and to be able to see, like, we could both be looking at the same exact thing, but the way you see it and gifted people in that realm see it, it will come across. They have that ability to take that photo and it looks totally different from how I saw it in my eye. It is just absolutely beautiful. So I was so happy once I saw you doing that. And then you did your first art expo at a local coffee shop for the most part.
For the most part. Yeah. And we talked about it. The barista over there, Tice, he was just like, he said, I like your stuff. We need some stuff up around here. So get a couple of photos together and let's see what we can do. And there was 2 photos that I went and spent a bunch of money getting framed, and it was my very first one, and they were up for about 6 or 7 months. You featured it on your Instagram account, and I mean, I didn't get really, nobody reached out about it, but you know what, it was actually kind of cool to walk in there.
Yes.
Wow, that's my work up there. That was actually interesting.
I love it. And it's all about sowing the seeds, and we all have to start somewhere. So let's get into it, because it goes from this turned into something, and I've been through my own issues too, but it's something you turn, and it's like, I really like this. I enjoy it. Okay, let's see what I can go with it. But then when those blockages start, so me and Joe, we talk often just how you're willing, how, comfortable you are willing to share it. But we were talking in the studio one day and he was like, friend, I need you to pour in. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting in my head about stuff. It's not the likes. I'm carrying my camera around. I'm not feeling inspired. So talk about a little bit more of that, like the struggle between.
Well, that's the thing. First of all, anybody who knows me knows that it's easy for me to get inside my head.
Mm-hmm.
So that tiny bit of doubt that gets in there, it just, oh my God, it just magnifies and it just goes way off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why when I had seen you in the hallway, you were like, "How you doing?" I go, "Need a pep talk."
Yeah.
I need a pep talk.
You know, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right, that's it. And but no, it's just social media is good and it's bad because with the social media, I put stuff out there on
Mhm.
Instagram and I like what I put out there, which is why I put it out there.
Mhm.
But then I get a fraction of what I think if I should get reaction wise. But then I'll see just like a basic photo
Mhm.
from somebody, and I'm not saying that their photo is worse or better or anything. It's just, and then I see the amount of reaction that they get, and it gets to
Mhm.
be a little defeating. Or I'll take the picture of something, the same thing, and somebody will do the same, almost the same identical photo.
Mhm.
And then the amount of reaction that they get, I immediately start thinking, well, wait a minute. Maybe I'm not onto something here.
Mm.
Maybe I'm listening too much to the hype from family, to certain
Mhm.
family members, you know, who have a biased opinion. No matter, you know, I mean, we all run into that.
Yes.
So, so I battle. And to be honest with you, right now, I'm probably on about about 2 months since I've taken a photo, since I've done any kind of photography. So much, in fact, last week I didn't bring my camera bag with me. I carry it with me all the time, and it actually, I think I even remember saying it to myself, God, I'm taking this with me and I'm not doing anything with it. This is like a burden. Why am I even carrying this with me? And so I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't carry it with me, and it's tough to, I, I know what it is, and I know I shouldn't feel that way, but I can't seem to talk myself out of feeling that way.
Mhm.
So that's why, you know, relying on people such as yourself who are very positive and very supportive means a lot, and that's like a big help.
Mhm.
Now, I'm still not there where I have the camera out, but the past 2 days I do have my camera bag with me with my
See?
camera in it. So I guess it's baby steps, right?
And that's all that matters because, and I get you there because it's like 2 months I'm walking around, I'm having my camera bag because you're looking like the inspiration will come, but nothing is coming. So then it turns to, okay, I got my camera bag, and then it turns to, it's a disdain for it because it kind of turns into like a constant reminder of like what I'm not doing.
Yes.
Like I have it here, and that goes into a cycle of making you feel even worse. Even though it could really be for you, you're just having a problem with connecting or finding that inspiration, and those blockages come up, and that is normal. And just because those blockages comes up, it's sad because like you said, it will have us going in and doubting our purpose.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, well, maybe this is not for me.
Right.
No, it really is for you. But a lot of times, like you said, you'll post the stuff, you look at it like, oh, my family, because they're biased. They're not biased. You do amazing work. So we're going to put that to the side right there.
I will say, whenever I show my mom photos, she's like, oh my God, I like that. Oh, I really like that. So it seems like everything I take, my mom, you know, I mean,
because that's what parents are supposed to do.
My mom. Yeah.
But no, it's not it's your work is not lipstick on a pig. Let me just console you. That's not it at all. You do amazing work, but because we are in this era of social media, and a lot of times when it comes to artists and creating content or whatever, you kind of are bearing a piece of your soul.
Yeah, there's a certain vulnerability when you're putting that out there because it when you're a creative person, no matter what it is, whether it's a painting, a drawing, writing, photography, no matter what it is, yeah, you are like, I feel really good about this, and now I'm going to show this to you, and I'm hoping you feel the same way.
Yes.
So yeah, and I will say, knock on wood, I have not received any kind of negative. I have not received any negative feedback. I've never had anybody post go, "Oh my God, why are you taking this? This is absolutely horrible," or anything like that. So that's a good thing. But which is, yeah, that's really a good thing because now that I think about it, I do enough of that myself in my own head. But a part of it is Sunday is usually the day that I like to go out and do photography.
Okay.
My wife works most of the day on Sunday, so then it's just an opportunity for me to go out. It's for me time, and I can just spend There have been times I've been out there for an hour. There have been times I've been out there for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends. And I know I need to get out there to do it.
Yes.
But then there's something where I end up just not getting up off that couch and going and taking a shower and let's go and let's do it. I know once I get out there, I'm going to say it out loud to myself. I'm glad I'm out here doing this. It's getting to that point, and I don't know why I get to that, and it's very, very, very frustrating.
Joe, I am with you, so I will share some of myself. Like Joe, guys, it's been a while. You haven't seen me on these social media streets with Talk to Me Toy, but we are back because I was suffering the same exact thing. I went through a little experience over the summer where things did not go the way I planned for them to go, like most people do. And it kind of threw me off. Like it, and at the time you don't think that it throws you off, but you're like, oh, okay, because I'm just going through life. And then before you know it, you're like, well, why aren't I doing the things that I love to do? This does not make any sense.
Right.
Even when it comes to podcasting, I love this. I'm just a naturally inquisitive person. I love speaking to people. I believe that, true growth, especially even more times, what's going on in our political environment today.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it, right?
True growth is through connectivity, and we learn and we grow by learning each other's stories and tapping in and sharing testimonies. So for me, I realized and it took me months to get to the bottom of it, because I kind of had to have a sit down, come to Jesus moment with myself. Like, Latoya, what is going on? Because you enjoy this. It is you. You know that this is your purpose.
Right.
Yet it would be the same thing. Okay, have your stuff. I turn around, see my stuff. Still don't feel inspired. You're out in the street. People keep asking you, oh, but what's going on? Did you start this? Are you doing that? And you're like, yeah, I'll get to it. But you're not even realizing that you're dealing with things internally, things about it. And for me, I didn't even realize that that's what was happening.
Yeah.
You find yourself making the excuses of, okay, let's put it off another week. Let's put it off another week. Oh, I'll get back to it next week. Right. But it does get to the point where you do have to have that real, honest conversation with yourself, but then also give yourself grace, because this is part of life. Even if it's something that you love doing and you can imagine doing it for the rest of your entire life, it doesn't mean it's going to come with moments where you're not going to feel inspired, where there's going to be moments where you'll be like, you know what, I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, and you can't always be on. And I found, there are some Sundays I know exactly what it is. It's like, all right, I'm going to get up, camera ready, I'm going to go out, I want to take some photos. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do some photos of, and mostly I do street photography, but I'll take a picture of anything, right? I will then go to Instagram and I'll start scrolling through pictures. I will start to see professional photographers that I'm following. I'll start seeing their photos, and I'm immediately going, why am I going out? My photos are not even going to be close. And there are those days that I talk myself out of it. Then there are other days I have no idea why I just don't go out and do it. And yeah, I've been trying. I've been trying. It's just not working out right now. What
are you doing to try to get yourself out of that? Do you think, because again, we like to be somewhat helpful here for even though we're not therapists, but it's like tricks to the trade of how do we pull ourselves out of those moments? And I know this is it's new for you, new for me. That's it. So it's like we're learning as we go.
This is the longest period that I've gone without doing any kind of photography, and I part of me is thinking, it's probably needed. It's probably needed. It probably will give me a fresher approach. I'm still every day I'm on the bus going home, coming into the studio. Every day I'm out, I'm looking at the world from a photographic eye, like, oh, that'd be a really cool composition. That'd be pretty neat over there. Oh, I could see if I just frame that up just the right way. So I'm still thinking in that mode. It's just that kick in the pants to go, all right, let's do it. But one of the things that does get me out of it when I've had these moments is I have a text message saved. My brother-in-law passed away a little over 3 years ago. And that summer before he passed away, he had seen some of my photos and everything. He was very artistic, graphic artist, amazing, beautiful, right? And he sent me a text message.
Okay.
But he accidentally sent it to me. He thought it was sending it to my wife. And in the text message, it said, make sure Joe does something. He's got a great eye for photography, and he might want to just take a couple of classes because he's got something. So, and every time I talk about it, I still get a little choked up. But I think it's nice to get that text message, but then I think I look at it even more. It's like he didn't even intend to send this to me.
But it was meant to get to you because you needed that.
Yes. So I will read that and I'll be like, okay. And then I'll go. Then when I go to Instagram, I'll then go to Instagram and I won't look at anybody else's stuff. I will just scroll through my feed.
Yes.
And I will start looking at my photos. And there was one time I caught myself going, wow, that's a pretty good picture. That's a pretty good picture. And oh, wait a minute, you're looking at your photos. And that made me take a step back. And that was very encouraging. But I need to kind of be in that encouraging mode in my mind all the time. But there's only so many times I can look at my photos. So that's kind of how I try and break out of it. Being around positive people who are very supportive, such as yourself, my wife, my family members. Yeah, that's how I break out of it. And even right now, just talking about this now, Tuesday. I hope I'm not spoiling anything. But
you're not at all.
But I might, on my way bus ride home, I might just hop off the bus at 30th Street and just walk the rest of the way and just do some nighttime photography in the city.
Oh, look at that!
So I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling a lot better. I feel like I'm in a better place at this moment.
Yes.
Now that's at this moment,
and it could be different later on.
Right. I could put my earbuds in, and I can immediately hear a song, and it'll take me right out of it. So I guess maybe I won't listen to music.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just learning the things and taking notice and being, it's almost like, not almost, it is being self-aware of the certain things that like, damn, if I do this, it might take me off of my purpose, the path that I want to be on, or even if it is for this moment. So how about we cut this out?
Right.
So, and here's the thing, you could get on the bus later, go home, not listening to the music, and it's like, damn, I'm still not feeling the things that I thought I would be feeling. So a lot of time, but still I would get out and do it just to see, but it's all about process of elimination of self and finding the things that what makes us tick, what doesn't, what is actually healthy for us and what is not healthy for us, this mindset. I like you, Joe, child. Listen, what happens in this head, I live in there. There is a 5-room condo, luxury apartment, skyrise, New York City happening in my mind.
Yes.
So I understand that where a lot of times you and I always look at it like this, you don't want to cheat yourself out of your gift.
Right.
Because essentially that's exactly what it's doing when you get down on yourself and it's like, I do the good work, but I'm sitting here and I'm comparing myself to everything on the street. And the good thing about it is when God really puts something on you, like, no, this is your purpose. A lot of times for us, yes, it is good to, check in and the perimeter, see what's going on out there. But no, he gave you this mission.
Right.
He put it on you. And sometimes we put too much stock on what the outside people are saying, where we should be checking in with him.
And sometimes it's not even what the people outside are saying; it's what they're not saying.
Yes,
and I think that's part of the problem too. For me, is that you're not saying anything. Like I've gone 2 months without posting a photo. You would think somebody would have said, "Hey, you haven't posted any photos.
Where you been?
What's up? Where you been?" No, no. Then that gets in my head, and then that gets even more defeating. And you just layer all of that stuff in there, and it's like, come on. I got to stop thinking that way. I have to stop thinking that way. Because as soon as I say to somebody, I haven't taken any photos, their immediate response is, I've noticed you haven't been taking any or you haven't posted anything. So it's like you and I had spoke last week.
We internalize it.
we internalize it, but there's also that, you know what, it's the out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. And
So-
that's really what it is. And so many of us, because you'll know, like, I'm a firm believer of your tribe will find you. So
Mhm.
if you're feeling inspired, always post. It doesn't necessarily have to be the ones who know you, because let's be honest, it's usually you're going to get the most support of the people who never met you a day in your life. Like when it comes, unfortunately, that's just how it is. But it's kind of just like you said, talking yourself out of your head about things. And I always find it, which helps me, is redirecting my purpose. Like Latoya, you got to like grounding. What are you doing it for? What was the reason you started doing it?
Right.
Do I still have the love to do it? Because 9 times out of 10, when we first started these things, we didn't do it because like we were expecting, your idol to see it. You did it because it was a creative outlet. And if some people like it, great. If you don't like it, that's cool too. But it does more so when you do see the normal people, because we all get caught up in it. It's like, oh, I don't see you on my likes anymore. I don't see that. So you must think I'm trash. A lot of the times it is out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
And we also have to take into account how these algorithms switch up all of the time.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
talk to people and they're like, oh, I haven't even seen your stuff. And it's vice versa, the same with them.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even seen you post in a while.
Right.
So that's why it is so important. You absolutely cannot just let, where we see lack. We see it as lack. And you can't let that get to you, because that foresight will take you right out of your purpose. And like you said, to have the beautiful people like your friends, your family, your wife will pull you to the side. Oh, this is actually a good, your brother-in-law, God rest his soul,
Right,
but to send that to saw, it's important that we have people like that.
Yes.
Who, when we don't even see it in ourselves, it's like, hold up, redirection. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Justin from Bacon Bacon.
Oh.
So this is a personal story of me, because again, first time back podcasting. And whenever I see, friends and family, they will always ask me what's going on. So him and his partner, Kelvin, hey, Kelvin, baby, they will pull me to the side. All right, we're waiting to come on the podcast. What's going on? So they would give me those checks. Child, this is a story I will never forget. We go for a night out. They had their opening of level 2, which is their event center at Bacon Bacon. So y'all pull up on it. It's a great space. So we go to a club afterward, to keep the party going. And in the middle of the club, my guy Justin comes up to me. And again, music is pumping, vibes are going. And he was like, friend, I need to tell you how great you how amazing you are, because you don't see it in yourself. And I lied to you not. It's only been 2 times that I've cried in the club. Once was my ex doing some BS in the club.
Yeah.
And then to see that hindsight 10, 15 years later, however, I'm crying in the club because somebody is pouring into me and redirecting my purpose. And I noticed I'm in there, and I had a lot going on. My grandmother died, had a lot of losses going on. But, we get caught up in, putting that face on. And the fact that man saw me, like again, we're dressed to the nines. We're in party mode.
That's when it means the most too, is when it's so unexpected.
Ooh.
And it just takes you completely, you could get completely blindsided by it, to where you're like, holy cow.
Like, oh my gosh. Wow.
Damn.
They put that back. I am that person. I am that guy. I am that girl. How could I ever forget this?
Right.
So, yes.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, because people, when they see it in you and we don't see it in ourselves 9 times out of 10, like, it's like, I see the good work here. Oh, that's my work. That's just me talking. But I'm sitting there looking at myself and whoever I'm talking with, cracking up, laughing, because there is something there.
Right.
And I feel like people like us, we never want to tote that line of, because they say one of the worst things you can do is start believing your own hype.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's why I just look at my stuff and I go, all right, it's okay. Not bad. Got a lot of work to do. Still need. Nowhere have I ever said, "Holy cow, this is the best photo I've ever seen." I mean, that's never been me. It's never been me. And if I had ever done that, I'm pretty sure karma came around and just kind of gave me a little tap on the butt, going,
"Bring it
slow
in.
your roll.
Bring it in, Titanic.
Slow yourself there a little bit." Exactly.
Bring it in, Titanic. Okay, because we'll sink this ship quick, fast. You keep talking reckless.
Yeah,
yes.
you're doing fine.
They're
Yeah,
even kiltered.
Yeah, exactly. There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance.
Yes.
So, you know, just it's about believing in yourself, and that's something that I've struggled with for a long time.
Yes.
I'm my own worst critic.
Of course.
Horrible. I mean, it's a good thing that I have a soundproof studio, because sometimes when things aren't working right, the things that I say to myself,
it's like, what it's like, who are you talking to, myself? And that's what's hurtful, because now that you think, just imagine if we put a camera up, and maybe that's an exercise people could, I might actually do that. And not to post it on social media, you know how people
just
with
for your own,
for
your own well-being,
and just to see how when moments pop up that are called stress or whatever, just to see and watch yourself and how you deal with it, because really through that's another step to how you learn yourself more, and not to like, okay, damn, I didn't like the way I looked in that. Girl, you do this little tick with the side of your head, you're looking crazy. So it's things like that. And then also another tool is, and God bless my mother, I have to give her this, because I was not on this wavelength prior to, went through a breakup years ago. My mama gave me all these books on meditation. I'm like, girl, go, okay, thanks, mommy. Cool. Hindsight 2020, when I tell you I dip into them books all the time, or just like really make meditation a part of my life, because there are moments when especially gets the most chaotic. Meditation is a form of grounding yourself and bringing it back to center. And a lot of the times when we really think we self-doubt and this and that, and we're always going on the outside looking for answers. But I am a firm believer, just after, my own walk, all the answers are really in ourselves. Like, you can go ahead and you can get, so now I will always ask for, not always, but a good time, ask for second opinions. Be careful of the people who you are asking from.
Right.
Take it with a grain of salt. Okay. And I might could use something with that. But at the end of the day, I'm the type, I have to operate through my intuition and my gut, because I know at the end of the day, I've done the work. I've consulted with the divine, or whatever you want to call it, through meditation or some type of grounding. And it's amazing how in those moments, the answers just come. Now, I'm not going to say it's right away, because,
well, with everybody. I mean, everybody is different. Your results may vary. So, which is, I mean, and I've seen some stuff about meditation, and I've thought about it. Right now, the only thing that I kind of do is, if I'm going through something, even some of the stuff earlier today that I had mentioned to you, I remember just pacing in my studio, and I go, all right, what are you doing? Let's look at it from a realistic standpoint, and let's all right, the worst case scenario. What's the best case scenario? What's the most realistic scenario that's going to take place here? And that seems to calm me down a little bit. But it is meditation, because you're bringing the awareness back to yourself. So even though it might not necessarily like look like that, or what you perceive as meditation, but the fact that you are aware and you're bringing it back and centering yourself, no, that is a form of meditation. It really is. I mean, listen, I talk to myself a lot. I don't answer, but I talk to myself a lot. And there are times it helps. I mean, usually in the morning when I'm getting ready to come into the studio and I'm taking a shower, that seems to be the time when I'm able to rationalize everything. It seems where I'm very just focused as to, all right, what are you going to do today? What's going on? How are you going to approach this? Let's look at all of that aspect. It seems there. And every now and again, like I said, in the studio, when I go through some stuff, and at least I'm in there and I can kind of talk back and forth, and just do a couple of things. So,
that's beautiful.
I'm still trying. I'm still getting there. I'm still getting there.
Listen, we're all works in process, or work in progress. So, and I'm a firm believer, it's our job to help each other. Listen, I'm going through this road on life with you. This might not work for me. This might not. This works for me. It might work for you. I'm not saying that it will. If you have a tip for me, I might try this, and it might work for me.
Exactly.
So that's growth. That's the game of life, and that's what we are here to do, to help and pour into each other. Because we go through these things in our mind, and that devil is a liar, because that mind will lie, and it will make you feel as though You are the only person who has ever gone through these trials and tribulations, and that is not the truth.
Oh gosh, no.
It is not the truth.
No. Everybody's going through it. It
Mhm.
might not be the exact precise thing that you're going through, but
Yes.
it's pretty similar where many people can go, yeah, no, I get you.
Yes.
I get you. I mean, even the talks that you and I have had, yeah, you're like, no, I get you. No,
I get it. Look,
yeah,
listen, wait, same horse, different color, but it's a horse at the end of the day.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and it's like so many of us, I mean, again, we see the stuff that's going on, and it's like
Mhm.
with all the separation it's trying to, pull up, but it's no, that the more separate you become, the more detached you become from life at the
True.
end of the day.
Yeah.
And we don't see it like that. We're all living in our own little world sometimes. And it's like, no, baby, we are all living in this big world. It's not
Right.
just about you. So whatever we can do to help and pour into others, that's what it should be.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that never before in my life have I ever been more self-aware, which is a good thing. It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because then that self-awareness kind of goes into a negative side. But of course, that's
and giving yourself grace. And the good thing I will say the older I get or the more I use these tools, and for me it was meditation, that's what helps me. But it's identifying when you are tail spinning, and I'm getting so much better with pulling myself out and actually because for me, I have to tell myself. Sometimes look in the mirror, Latoya.
Wow. All right.
This shit is not real. You have created this entire narrative, and it will happen time and time again, Joe. I will be sitting in a space, and now something might happen, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Meanwhile, I'm thinking about it, and I've created this narrative. Bitch, that ain't the fuck happened.
Well, listen, if I can think it, it's going to happen.
Yes.
And I think a lot of stuff. I mean, it goes something as simple as it automatically takes an immediate right-hand turn, and it's
gone totally left. And you've created a story, and when it finally, the reality shows up, it looks nothing like that story that you just creaed.
Right. And I wish I could write the way I think that stuff in my head, because I've been writing novels for right now.
Yes. Well, that is a part of the journey, guys. So,
yeah.
Joe, I will always love these conversations.
Yes,
that you
I do
and
too.
have. I do.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This has been incredibly helpful for me.
Oh, I love you, friend. And this ain't and again, that's what good friends, or just when you have a village that you've created. Right. It's the responsibility when you can't pour into self, like, damn, I just don't have it. That's when it's up to the team to come in, like, get back in the game, get back in the game.
Yeah.
You got it. You're supposed to be here. And it makes you feel so good when those people do see you. Like, damn, if you knew the chaos and the shit show that I just put myself through.
Right.
And it's so funny how God will always align it up when you need it the most.
Listen, I'm a firm believer of that. To be honest with you, I mean, for me, it's my grandmother. I always feel my grandmother's she's right there. You know, she passed away back in the 90s. She's the one that's looking out for me. She's putting the positive people in my place, in my life to help me with this, i.e. you and some other friends and family members that they're putting people there to kind of remind you, go like, listen, what are you doing? Let me help bounce you back. So, that usually is a huge help, is having positive people. Yeah, positive people, because nobody wants to be inside that negative space that I got going on in that head.
I get, friend. We think that's why we mesh so much, because we both get in those spaces together. Yep. One last thing, when it comes, I was talking to a friend a while ago, and it was about meditation, and I was asking, she was like, well, I tried, but it's not really sitting. And one of the biggest things with meditation, not that I'm no damn guru, but I just recently heard, when you sit and they're like, the thoughts don't stop coming, that's because your body needs meditation the most. And it is a practice. Meditation really is a practice, because most people feel stupid. Like, I'm just sitting here dumb, I don't even know what the hell's going on. What am I supposed to be doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I can't stop thinking about stuff. So you feel, I know you think it's supposed to empty your brain, but I can't stop thinking about different things popping up, and you think it doesn't work, but it does. It's just a practice. So I'll tell, for some people, for me, it wasn't right away. It took me about a good, to be honest, maybe 6 months before I got a real, like, damn. So this is the meditation that, the high that people are talking about it. So for the people out there listening, if you do choose to incorporate some of that, the more your mind is racing, you need it the most. So don't look at that as like, oh, it's just not working for me, it's stopping. It's like any practice. It sounds crazy to think it takes practice to empty your mind.
Well, no, it does. It does. I mean, look, I lay in bed at night and it's quiet. That mind is
it's just boom, 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 off the walls.
Oh my gosh. And then it repeats the thoughts too. Yeah, it's like that horrible, just keeps going and going and going and going and going. So that would be my concern, is like, how do I break myself from that meditation? But I do want to learn more about it, because I believe that it can be very helpful for me to kind of help.
Just bring you back to center.
Get myself centered a little bit, and just kind of even say to myself, what are you doing?
Get your behind back in here.
Cut the shit.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yes. Well, this was, Joe, just thank you for being an amazing friend. Thank you for inspiring me to kick off Talk to Me Toy back in these streets out here, because
you're always a big help for me. So
I love you, friend. I'll trust you. It's been a struggle for me since the summer. And again, didn't even realizing that, it was a struggle until, I want to say, maybe November. I was like, girl, if you don't, what's going on? You want to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, once you identify the issue, for me, it was fear. But it didn't show up how fear would normally show up.
Right.
But now I know this is what fear can look like, and you don't let that shit stop you.
Right.
You keep going.
Awesome.
I love you, friend.
I love you too.
Thank you guys so much for joining an all-new episode of Talk to Me Toy. And we will be back next week with an all-new episode, because this train don't stop. Bye, everybody. Bye, Joe. Thank you. Wait, Joe, before we go, how can they find you?
I'm a creative person, and it's the most uncreative handle ever on Instagram. It's just my name, Joseph Ayoob.
And how do you spell it?
Iyoob.
Okay, Joseph Ayoob. Guys, I'm gonna feature some of your stuff in my stories too.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
They can see it. Joe, guys, just get ready. An amazing artist, an amazing photographer. I cannot wait to book you for some stuff, Joe.
Oh,
yes,
well, I can't wait either.
It'll be a privilege to have you capture my image.
I would love to.
All right, my loves, Talk to Me Toy.